welcome to Soul. Oh, Jesus. It's been a long day. Welcome to Soul Shadows Day 2. Thank you so much for being here. So this next film screening, this is a short film, and it's called Picture. We already had Sade give us a little snippet of what it is, so I'm not going to ruin it because I will spoil this film very easily, but it's really great, so let me go hit play and give it up. So we just watched the short film Picture, and joining me tonight we have Sadé Sellers. Yes, hello. So let's learn a little bit more about her. She's a director and screenwriter exploring the cycle of grief through bold character-driven storytelling. She wrote the TV One thriller, Deadly Dispatch, I can read my own handwriting for a minute, and co-produced the horror feature Survivor. She's also the creator and host of Afro Horror. So welcome her one more time. Come on. So did you want to say hello? Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Hello, everyone. I know like half this room, which is amazing. Sade, hello. I'm from Michigan. I've been in LA 20 years. Love this city. Love California. Fuck ice. I am a proud daughter of an immigrant who left everything she knew to come here to make a better life for me so I can do this. So yeah, it's fuck ice. And I have been making, I came to California to make films. I dropped out of school, Michigan State University, because they didn't have a film program at the time. I'm old. And I was kind of like, okay, I can waste 4 years here studying military history. I don't know why I picked that major. I was interested in it. But I could stay here and waste time, or I could just like drop everything and move to LA. I decided I was going to lie, because that's how you get stuff done. And and I told everyone, my family, my friends, I said, I'm going to go to film school in Los Angeles. So I'm just going to go take a tour, like with my mom, to look at schools. And you know, we did look at 3 schools. I knew I wasn't going to school. And the day we were supposed to go back to Michigan, get on the plane, she's like, you ready to go? And I said, oh, I'm not leaving, but have a safe trip. And my mom was like, as long as you pay your bills, I actually don't give a fuck. So she got on the plane, and like, she had to come back because I didn't have a car. And so my first job was doing background on a movie called Easy A. With,
Yeah, Easy A.
Yeah, I haven't seen it still. But they were giving SAG vouchers out, which is like this like golden ticket to get into the union if you were to get yourself to Ojai, California, which is very far. So my mom came back, she said, look, I'll stay in Ojai with you so you can work because this is what you want to do and you need to make money, and I'll take a vacation. So she vacationed in Ojai and would come to set and eat crafty, and I would work 16-hour days. So that's supportive mother. She is an executive producer on film. Okay. So yes, this is her first EP credit.
Amazing. How did you get involved in this film?
Mom, I need money. We have to feed the crew. Would you like to donate lunch for 2 days? And that's it.
I love that. I love that she's supportive, you know?
Oh, this is her favorite project. She keeps saying, I'm gonna get the money to make Picture into a feature. Like, we need it.
Okay, because that was one of my questions. So let's just get right into that.
Sure.
What did you make this a feature?
Everyone says that every time we show it, everyone says it, and for so long the answer was no. Like, because there's a movie called, what is that movie called? The other one. Well, but there's another movie called, it's actually called Polaroid.
Oh,
and it's similar, but it's more like a, like the Ring style.
Yes.
Is
Right?
it black though?
No, it's not.
See? You see? So this needs to be done.
Well,
we need
but
this.
I said, you know what? I thought about this the last time that we just won an award for it, and I said, I actually do want to make it a feature, but I am not a literal kind of director who wants to just repeat what she's done before, kind of. So I was doing a lot of research on the history of photography and how it started, and how women actually found a job in it. I can't remember what century it was, but basically when, I think it was 1600s, I want to say, when people's loved ones would pass away, they wanted to get portraits of their bodies, their dead bodies, like children too. So they would hire these photographers to do it, and women got a lot of jobs that way because no one really wanted to do it. So I think I want to write a dark Victorian horror that starts this show off, but way back then.
That's actually a really good idea, because for me, like, so when I watched Picture for the first time, I've actually rewatched it a few times building up to here, but the first time I watched it, I keep just calling it The Entity.
Yes.
I feel like each time I watch it, I've gotten different, like, feelings on what it's supposed to mean. So, like, for me, there's moments where I feel like, you know, like when we're aging and we can see it in our photos, and we're worried about aging and, like, dying. I perceived it that way, but I also perceived it as just, like, the Grim Reaper is going to come and get you at any point. But my curiosity was, if you don't mind telling us, what exactly did you want the audience to take away from that character? And I would also like to know more about that too.
But I love your interpretations of it, because right, like it depends on what speaks to you. I don't want to tell you what to take away, but I can tell you what I did for myself, because I feel like you should take away whatever you want. When we shot this film, was I out yet? No. They had to ask them because they're the first person I told when I came out. I wasn't out yet. I was in the closet and like didn't realize it. If you know, you know. So when I was there's a great connecting story to your film, sir.
Yeah.
With this, I pitched this short to Fox 21 to be on the Hulu Halloween Bites, and they passed, and that was okay. And I said, well, you know what? I already have the script written. Let me just shoot it myself, right?
Yeah.
But in writing the story, it was about me kind of looking at photos and going, you know what? You're a little gay.
Yes.
Especially like childhood photos. Like I was on a floor hockey team. It was screaming at me. And then when I came out, I'm looking at, you go back and you go, oh man, it was right there the whole time. So it's kind of like the way I wanted it to express myself was like my queerness was always there. No matter how much I tried to stuff it down or like hide it and tuck it away, it was like, girl, those Doc Martens aren't just there for fun. Like, those hairstyle choices were made. So I wrote the film with the kind of idea that like we all have something in our photos that we don't like. That, like you said, the aging lines doesn't work. There's always the creature of time behind us, that entity is my queerness speaking on me. Like, just like slowly through the years. We'd be like, okay, 8 years old, floor hockey team, okay. 16-year-old soccer team, this is getting very close. Okay, 20 years old, maybe bi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just, every photo, every year, it just became more clear and clear until I came out. So that's where the motivation of that character came from.
Awesome, thank you for sharing that. And I was very, very curious when watching. And going back to the entity, I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm fascinated with the entity. Would you ever, I know you just said the type of feature you'd like to do, but would you ever get like a short on the entity and just how, or would that be in the feature as well, like how it came to be?
I'm really into Greek mythology, so I think
yeah.
I already see people making the connection. So the ferryman is kind of what I'm thinking this entity would be, right? As someone who transfers souls to, look, she's excited. Well, Ivan made the design, so that's a question for him. And what I love is, again, that's why I don't like saying it's my movie, because it's not, because you designed the characters, you did it, like, and we're all producers. But the entity to me is like the ferryman. It's just like guiding souls from one place to another. Just not in a good, you're not going to a good place. Yeah, Kieran, exactly. So that's where I'm thinking I'm going to bring him back, or them back.
Okay, I will let it go, but I'm just very excited.
No.
So this next question actually kind of goes back to how you were saying that there's the other film called, oh my god, what was it? Polaroid, right?
Polaroid.
So like that. So I actually wrote this one and I said, I wrote all of them, sorry. you managed to make the haunting of an antique object so unique, which I genuinely felt like it felt different. You know, because we've seen stories like this before. So my question to you is, how did you manage to make it unique to you? And maybe it ties into, like you said, figuring out who you were and coming out, but it didn't feel like The Ring and like we're passing along the tapes and just looking at them and the girls crawling out, or it didn't even feel like not just Polaroid, but there's one other film, it's leaving my brain. Oh, okay, that's fine. There's one other film, and it's like, or maybe this is Polaroid, but where they are in a dark room, and it's like it's an Asian horror film. So wait. Shutter, I think, yes. So yeah, it doesn't give off that vibe either. It's just so unique to you. So how did you manage that? How did, like, when it came to writing, how were you like, let me make sure this isn't like anything else?
Well, that's so interesting because when I write, first of all, that kind of theme of the movie, I knew Polaroid was a film before. Well, I didn't know. I was writing it, and then I found out, and I was like, should I watch the movie? And I was like, no, absolutely not. Don't watch the movie. Don't do that. But because this was a pitch for a studio that had very specific, like, it has to be less than this limit, and it has to have only this kind of theme, and like, they were so specific with the pitch that I had to write towards that pitch. And then when I was able to just say, hey, I'm doing it myself, I got to just expand it. So this was actually the most structured writing I've done in the terms of, like, I didn't mean to make it this unique, it just had to be because of that specific studio. So they can take credit for that one, actually.
Oh, of course. I was just really curious, because like I said, we've seen the antique thing, I mean, even the film right before you, the brothers did this, you know, and that's why I put them together, because this is fun.
No, that was a great one. I really love that one.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a really good one. It was my first time watching it, was actually last year when I was organizing. You
Yeah.
like pitched it to me and I was like, oh yeah.
Those performances were insane.
Yeah, speaking of performances,
Yeah.
how did you do the casting? Because I actually really love the cast.
Okay, so Leah Daniels Butler, who's our casting director, she's cast movies or TV shows like Empire. She's doing All American, the Saturdays. Leah has a resume very long, and we co-produced that horror movie Survival. That's on Amazon Prime, I think. And I worked at her production company. After I wrote Deadly Dispatch and shot that, she also cast that film, and she was like, hey, come work at my production company and just, like, help us, because you're a writer and we want good stories. And then, you know, I lost my job during the pandemic, as one does, and Leah is really great producer, but better person, because she goes, you can come to me with favors that you need, but you better make them damn good. So I held on to it for years. I was like, I'm gonna only ask Leah for something super important. And then this film came about, and I was like, okay, there's only 2 characters. Like, the third one is actually the shop owner. Like, that's how we got to use that space for free, because he's an actor. And he did great. So yeah, he was free. That casting is easy. Independent filmmakers. But Leah, I said in the script, and I said, hey, I just need these 2 actors, like, if you have any suggestions. In the script, there's 16. So, but I didn't specify that to her, that I wanted people who were over 18 because of SAG rules. Like, I know the rules, which is I would have to have a set teacher and all these things. So I was looking for people who were over 18 that could look younger, but I didn't say that to her. So she read the script, literally a day later said, hey, here's Jalen Hall and Danielle Gelati. They're 15. I said, oh, sure. And I said, well, Leah, I don't know if I can. She's like, you take them or leave it. I was like, I'm taking them. I'm taking them both. I'm taking them both. So Jalen literally had Emmett Till. The Till movie had just come out. And he literally, when I picked him up from LAX billboards, and it was his first time seeing it, he was so excited. And then Danielle was in Black Widow and on Saturdays, and she was doing her own thing. So the casting was because I asked, but then I got more than I asked for, and I had to live up to that, because with someone like Leah, if you fail, you don't get another favor. And even to this day, I haven't asked her for anything. So I was like, the next one's gonna be better than this one. Like, yeah. So that was the casting. Long story short.
No, that's what Pam's for. Tell us. So I have. Okay, let me see, because I like gave you.
I love this jacket, by the way.
Thank you so
So
much.
cute.
It's from like 2002, but I was able to find it on eBay.
I love it.
And I was thrifting, y'all.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why I keep saying that. Yeah, no, I did. One of the first things I did.
Exactly.
And I brought it to the dry cleaners. You never know.
Yeah.
So this next question, speaking of long resumes and favors to ask, I love the score. Yes. And I had this written, and y'all know me, I work in advance, so I already had these questions. Then plot twist, I'll let you share the exciting news, okay? But anyways, we'll get to that. I love the score. The composition really adds to the panic, the fear, and the creepiness creepiness of the film. Like, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes like the music, and you know, I'm a musician, that might be it, but sometimes the music creeps me out more than the film. No, not in like a disrespectful
No,
way.
it's, yeah.
You know, like, especially when like you're just used to horror, you know? So when you hear like a chilling like, ooh, I'm like, I don't like that. Something's in my house now. That's how I felt. I was like, hello? I was scared. So that being said, what was it like working with Anthony, and how did that even happen? How did that come about? And show the good news too.
Well, Anthony Parker, our composer and my friend, just won his first Grammy for the work he did on Sinners.
Wow.
That literally happened last week, and I was like, holy shit, Anthony, this is crazy. Anthony is one of, I think, less than 5 black gay male conductors in the world, like at the upper echelon level. And, yes, all like so proud of him. Please follow him on Instagram, Anthony Parker. Go check out one of his symphonies if you can. It's just, orchestral music is so beautiful, and we don't like celebrate it enough, especially for black people. So he's worked on Sinners, Avatar, and Black Panther, and I met him because my best friend was dating him at the time. And yeah, the gay community is strong. But they broke up, but we stayed friends. I was like, you cool with that though, right? And he's like, yes, he's a great person. And Anthony loves horror. But before Sinners, he never got offered anything horror, ever. He was like, I don't know what it is. Like, I love horror, but I'm always getting like these like James Cameron pieces. Oh, I'm so sorry. But so he was like, I'd really love to do a horror, and if you make one, I'll do it for free. I can't afford him, so I was like, deal.
Yes.
So we did this one, and what I try to do as a director and producer is I let people do their thing. I'm not giving you notes. You're an artist. Let me see what you come back with. I didn't touch shit on his score. What am I to say? Like, I don't like that. He played over 12 instruments all on his own, and conducted himself, and then composed himself, and then completed the score for this film, all original. Like, that's actually cool if you think about it. This is an original, it's just ours forever. So when he was ready, I went to his house in Hollywood Hills, he's so fancy, and he had champagne and caviar, and it was me, my mama, and our executive producer, Kayla, and he played us the film with it, and I cried. I cried like a baby because I really made the film. Like, the film was great, it was good, but the score, yeah. And he did it in like a week, just turned it around.
Yes.
And then that was it. And we're still friends. Like, we're in post on a documentary about Altadena. He lost his home in a fire as a kid, so he's like, I'm doing that one too. He's very collaborative, and he's great. And now he's a Grammy winner. I'm so happy. I know. When he told me about Sinners, I was like, oh man, I can never afford you again. Like, you're priced out. And my price was free, and I still can't afford that. Yeah, please follow him. True creative, wonderful person, so kind, and just like a big brother.
I love that. Thank you for sharing, because I was very curious.
Yes.
And I have 2 more questions for you, and then we'll open it up to the audience if there's any questions. The first question is, why horror? What draws you to horror?
Horror and I have been best friends since I was a wee little lesbian. My sister and I, but it was my grandma actually, my grandma Bobby on my dad's side, my sister and I spent weekends with her. She was the horror fan. And my mom always was like, why are you showing my children these films? Like, we watched The Exorcist on Christmas. Like, that's how intense my grandma was about horror films. And my mom just couldn't understand it, but she knew it was like keeping them in the house and it's keeping them fun. Like, my sister's actually a way bigger fan than I am. Like, she'll watch anything. She'll go on YouTube and watch things, and obviously on Shudder. Like, she'll find illegal videos somehow. Like, she watches everything. I do watch a lot, but I have a very specific taste that I like. Horror has always felt like a warm hug to me because it just reminds me of my grandma, and it's something we would do together. My sister and I are very different, even though we're only born like 10 months apart. We're like Irish twins. Very different, but our strongest commonality is horror. So that's when we get together and we kind of like watch it together, but that's the strongest of our sisters. So horror to me is just comfort. I was working today on the couch. Every time I'm working on the couch, I put a horror film on in the background, especially when I've seen 1,000 times. I will watch the same film 1,000 times. So today it was The Meg 2 and 47 Meters Down 2. Yes. I don't know, I was in a sequel mood. I find it comforting than anything in the world, which is crazy because my best friend is the exact, she hasn't even smelled my best friend in almost 20 years. She refuses.
She's scared?
She's very scared. I spoiled it for her. I was like, do you want her to hear the story? She's like, absolutely, I just don't want to watch it. It was great. One love it. Thank you, bestie. So yeah, and then, I'm very open about my mental health. I have bipolar disorder. I got diagnosed with that shortly after I came out. It was a big year. It was like, okay, crazy. All in one. So horror is, to me, the only genre that actually looks at mental health through a lens that feels authentic and not afraid to address it. And so it just became natural that I was like, yeah, now I can explore my mental health through themes of these movies in this very comforting way. Because I feel more comforted being slapped in the face with people's crazy, I like that. Yeah. Like, please tell me about the medication you're on. Yeah. Tell me about your trip to the mental ward. I would love to switch stories with you. So, horror to me is probably one of the few reasons I stay on this planet. That's so dark. I'm so sorry.
No, it's perfect.
He's like, absolutely. Yeah, that's cut that out. Don't. I don't want people to get that. It's a swing.
But it's real too, though. I think, we always hear that music saves lives. It does. Sorry,
Yeah.
But so does film, and so does genres. And as crazy as it may sound to people, they're like, you like watching people get killed? Yes, the fuck I did.
Yeah.
Not in real life though, but horror
no,
film.
fuck I.
There's things in the world that, yes, fuck I.
Yeah.
There's things
I was
in
about
the
to say,
world
yeah.
that keep us grounded, and horror is one of that. Those things, and it deserves that recognition. So,
It does.
I'll edit that out, but thank you for sharing with us. That's very real. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And I'm
okay.
glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yes.
I just wrapped my new short film called Help is currently unavailable about a young woman who calls a suicidal hotline and talks to different people. And that's the very last line is, I'm glad you're still here. Oh, that's so
I'm gonna cry.
No, they're crying.
Well, that was actually my last question for you was, what's the next thing to look forward to? Is there anything else would you tell us too?
Yeah, oh my gosh. So Help is currently unavailable is on its final lock soon. On Monday it should be locked. And I'm very, very proud of that film. Again, psychological horror to do with mental health. And I'm very proud of that one. And we just wrapped a vertical called Au revoir, which is a Black gay Haitian vertical. I'm Belizean, but my best friend is Haitian, so he wrote it, and I directed it and produced it with Ivan and Jose here, as always. And then Ivan and Jose as well, we are producing partners. We are also in post-production on our documentary about Altadena, actually about a family who lost their home in Altadena, lost not one home but two, so it was our subject and her aunt lost their homes in the fire. So we followed them for a year, about 4 days after her house burned down, all the way into a month ago, just to see what her life looked like over a year. Her birthday was the day after her house burned down. So she didn't have a birthday last year, but this year I posted about the film on TikTok, and a community pizza owner in Altadena was like, I want to throw her a birthday party.
I love that.
And so that's where we spent her birthday, in this pizza house in Altadena, and they gave us food and got her a cake, and it was cool. So I think that's enough films right now. I think that's good. Is that everything?
Y'all are like, it's too much. We don't know.
That's it. Those are all in post.
That's
So
amazing.
maybe
Congratulations.
later this year, early next year, you just get hit with a bunch of stuff. We'll see.
I'm excited for that.
Thank
So
you.
one more thing before we open it up. How
Yeah.
do people follow you and your journey?
Don't. I'm kidding. I am on Instagram, Sadé Sellers. That's probably the best. Not you going overseas.
Already here.
That's me. Instagram is my more professional stuff. I do have fun on TikTok where I like to do little parodies and like horror parodies and stuff, but that's where you'll get like the professionalism. Is Instagram.
Thank you so much. So any questions from the audience? Oh, yes.
Okay. If my phone just goes, shh. Sorry. Shh.
Okay.
That was random. Okay. Anyways, first off, so you're huge. Not just congratulations on all this. Congratulations on everything, because that was amazing. I was like, ooh, so excited. And seriously, whenever the ferryman situation comes out, I'm like, oh my god, I need to know everything. I need to know everything. As soon as you said that, I'm like, ah, yes, excited nerd. But yeah, hopefully the Altadena short. It's like because my old boss and everything, same situation. He lost his house, lost his business, everything. So I was like, dude, seriously, hopefully when that comes out, nothing but support for that one because it was such a sad situation for so many people to be displaced like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, when it comes to the idea behind picture, like, oh, let's pick something to be the haunted antique or be the haunted artifact and everything. Why a camera? I'm so curious why you went for a camera.
That's a great question. When I pitched to Fox 21, they said come prepared with 6 pitches.
Okay.
And you already know this part, right? You come prepared with 6 pitches, and we want to hear them all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to create a universe, kind of like the Conjuring universe or whatever New Line, the way they do it. And I said I want to pick 6 different antiques from a garage sale. Like originally, the idea was to connect all these films. And it was one person went to a garage sale and bought these items, and then each item had this background to them. So there's one with a a record player that I really loved. There was a record player. There was the Polaroid camera. There was, I think, a bicycle. Like there were a few others, but I had to think realistically as a producer, like what I could afford. And the camera was the cheapest option.
Perfectly
and it felt like a good intro. It felt like this was like a good intro to whatever universe I wanted to build. I could either build it forward or I could go backward in time, like what I'm planning to do with the feature. But it is supposed to be a universe, so I'm really excited to try to see what that means as well. Like I don't want it to be repetitive, like there's a haunted like record player, but I'm like, how do I fit this into the world? So. I don't know if y'all saw. That's why the record player opens.
I know. It's like
that's why the record player opens the film. It's like my Easter egg of like this will be for the next one. Yeah. I'm so happy you got that.
Yes.
Was there another one? Anyone else? Yes.
Yes, I have 2 questions. One, the owner of the shop, does he ever hit you up to like, hey, do you have anything else going on? He did his job.
no, honestly, I hope so. Just go back to him and be like, hey, can I borrow you for the rest?
Every artist always like their worst and best critic. Is there anything about your own film that you wanted to change, or something that you wanted to do different before the final cut?
Yeah, so number one, that shop is called Yes Baby in Burbank on Magnolia. Do you know it? Who knows Yes Baby? Oh, everybody knows Yes Baby. Okay. Do you recognize Corey then? No? Okay, someone did. His name is Corey. He is a stand-up comedian and a lovely person. And I haven't been in the shop lately, but every time I go back, he does go, when's the next one? So please go say hi to him. He wants to act, and he is acting. He's doing great, and he's hilarious. And he has like free comedy shows on Sunday inside the antique store. If you want to do stand-up, if you're a comedian, you can go with the set.
We need him in this universe now.
I know.
We need him in the universe.
We need.
He's like, guys, look what else I found.
I know. Oh, no, seriously, that's such a great idea. And then to your second question, we ran out of time because these kids are busy. So like we had 2 full days scheduled, 1 day prep, 2 full days scheduled, and Jalen, God, first of all, getting Jalen to LA was hard. Like his agents were tough. This is also why it's important to like keep your community. His manager was someone I did background with on Easy A 20 years ago, and I said, hi, Leah gave me like Jalen's information. He's like, yeah, that's great. I love it. I have to get it past my boss, and my boss is a hard ass. And I was like, great, I can't wait to meet him. And his boss was like, he needs first class ticket from Atlanta with him and his mom because he's a minor. He needs his own accommodations. It has to be at the standard hotel. it was gonna cost like $5,000 just to get him, and I was like, we can't afford this. I spent $10,000 just for the film. $5,000 half my budget. Kayla, who's not here with us today, I called her the 2 days before we filmed, and I said, I need $5,000 to get this kid to LA. She said, okay, here's my credit card. Whoa. And came on and signed on as an EP, and that's because I worked with her at Final Draft for years, which is how I met you, you know, and she trusted me, and he had to get back to set. So when we ran out of time, I had to consolidate so much of his like lines, and the ending, as you saw, was so rushed because I was like, oh, his mama ain't playing. She black. She's like, we are leaving 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, so just get him in front of the demon and get out. Like, thank you so much for coming. So yeah, I wish I had more time, but
It was good.
No, it was
yeah.
so
Did you have a question?
Oh, more of a comment.
Okay.
Okay, so the idea of spirits in photography and like
Yeah.
spiritual energy existing in photography, that's like a powerful theme.
Yeah.
I've seen it before actually. What that one thing that reminded me of kind of in reverse is the Fatal Frame game series.
Yes.
You know about that one? There you go, yeah. Where again, it's an antique camera you receive kind of mysteriously,
Yeah.
and then it's a survival horror game.
Yeah.
Where your only defense is that camera against
Oh, that's
ghosts
so
and demons
cool.
around you. So-
A lot of people thought I was doing like the Aborigine, like don't take their pictures, they believe it snatches your soul, and I was like, well, yeah, but that wasn't the intention. But the intention is like, I hid from taking pictures for like half my life because I didn't like the way I looked in pictures. Whether I thought I was like fat or all these horrible words that don't exist that your mind is just telling you, like there's nothing wrong with anything about yourself, but you criticize yourself. So it was more about like my avoidance of taking photos than like the soul being grabbed from it. But to your comment, I think there is a lot of mythology when it comes to technology, like with AI, especially just the way humans are, we're like 1 percentile of what technology means. Like a camera is still evolving in that. Like I'm a 90s baby. We used to have little like digital cameras, and now like we have them on our phones, and
I'm pretty sure my family had a Polaroid exactly.
yeah,
like
Polaroid
that.
just like that. Yeah.
That's
So.
what I was saying. I don't want to think that the camera like that's antique. I had one of those.
Oh my God! No. The reason why the Polaroid camera is not here in that case is because I took it home for Easter, and my 14-year-old cousin was like, "Oh, I'm getting into photography. I love your antique camera." I brought my Polaroid, and I was like, "Take it, kid. Like, you need to educate yourself. Like, if you're gonna start with photography, this is the beginning of it." So I gave the camera away. That's why it doesn't exist out there, sadly. But we're old. We're old.
Pictures of me when I was like 8 on the exact same film. As
Yeah.
the Polaroid camera.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're old. Yeah. Anyway.
Again, so Marcus, I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
I got a question. So, first of all, love the film. Black queer kid horror blurred of a grandmother on my dad's side who also loves horror. So, I feel you, girl. I feel you. Question about, I guess you talked about doing, I guess it was the Hulu shorts.
Yes.
With the film, did you feel, I guess, stifled in any way because there were so many like stipulations as to what the film had to be in terms of like your voice? I don't necessarily feel like my actor or writer. I don't feel like you always have to have like you don't have to be preachy or anything like that in your work. You don't have to have all these
Messages.
immaculate like messages and all those sorts of things. But did you feel like in the process of doing the program that you kind of felt stifled in whatever you had to say for the film?
Oh no, I thought it was a really great challenge.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really great challenge to give you very specific requirements, and you have to use your creativity to that. And that's, as an artist, it can be restricting, it can be, but it can also be really fun. Because again, we had to write 6 different pitches to these very specific standards. So it was like, how can I change this? Like, I think I had a hide and seek themed one with a couple in the cabin in the woods, and the man was going to propose, and she decided to kill him instead. Like, I had really taken like all of their specific requirements, which I don't know if we can share. Can we? Do you think? Yeah, we can't share. Okay, I was like, the Hulu guys got it back. It was like,
It's a safe space.
it's the same thing. It was like 1 location, 2 characters, under 2 minutes or something like that. has to have this beat by beat, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's get to it. And then when I didn't get it, I was like, that's okay. I still like the idea of the one person. We have 2 locations, 2 people, just for money-wise reasons. And then for me, if you watch this film, I'm wondering, would you know anything about me being queer through that? Right? No, and I honestly told you, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the kind of filmmaker I like to be. I like everyone to watch it with an eye of like, you actually don't know what the theme is. You have all your guesses and they're not all wrong. None of them are wrong. But then I can do panels like this and go, so this is actually what I'm saying. Because I don't, for me, it's, I'm always hiding little treasure pieces of myself in there. Like there's some things in there that just for me. No, I won't share them on the panel. They're like little nods to my childhood and things like that. So I love the idea of having a conversation about the film because I like to hear what people see rather than giving them what I want them to see at first. If that answers your question.
No,
So I don't feel restricted.
No, it does. Thank you for that.
Yes, you're welcome. And I've taken up too much time. So
Yeah, I was gonna say there is time for one more as long as it's a small question. Anyone? Going once.
Question.
Going twice.
yes,